Was it you who spoke the words that things would happen but not?
Welcome back to Singapore, Jason.
Thanks.
And we last saw you in 2009.
Okay.
And you had a sellout concert there as well.
Yeah.
This time you're back for a sellout concert again. It's even bigger, 15,500 people. How do you feel about it?
Well, you know, I think Gardens by the Bay has a lot to do with that because it's such a beautiful setting here.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are really excited to just come and see what all the fuss is about and see all the beauty to actually see what's growing on here, I like to say. And then also I got to credit our fans. You know, they've been very loyal from the beginning, and it seems like after every show they tell one or two people, and so it gets a little bit bigger each time. So I'm not taking any of the credit. You know, it really is about others.
Now your new album, Love Isn't a Four-Letter Word, of course, was released in April, and it's already gone gold in Singapore. So congratulations on that.
Thanks.
How do you feel about it?
Oh, grateful and surprised. I'm always surprised that, you know, because I write songs in my bedroom and I write them for myself, you know, to fill any void that I may have or to answer any question about my existence. And then I put it out. I just put it out in the world and trust that it'll be heard by whoever needs that medicine at that time.
Right.
So the fact that it's being received here so well is a surprise, and it keeps me grateful. I'm really excited.
We have a phrase to express that in Singapore, that feeling. It's called "Sibe Shook."
Sibe Shook.
Yeah, Sibe Shook.
Sibe Shook.
So during your concert, you can just go and say "Sibe Shook," and then people would just go crazy.
Okay.
What is it about? I mean, you always write lyrics and words and songs that connect with people. Do you think you have a special formula? What is it?
No, I don't have a special formula because it's not easy what I do. If I did have a special formula, I'd have, you know, tons and tons of albums but it's a journey. Every album for me is a journey, and every song I write, that page is blank before me. And I do my best to not think, to just stay out of my way and just channel and emote. And then it's in the editing process where I do my best to not be boring, and to seriously to not just deliver some familiar, simple, predictable message, but make sure that there's a good amount of truth or vulnerability exposed in the song, because I think that's when humans will see their own lives in the work.
Right.
You know, we get it in great literature, we get it in films when we connect to certain characters, and so I think music, that's what it always did for me. When I was a young man, I would listen to a song and I'd feel not so alone. And I'd feel so much better about my life because I could connect myself to that song. And so as a writer, I strive to do that as well, is to connect my life to the song in order for listeners to have that same experience. Woohoo! I mean, that happens every so many days.
Yeah. That was the most recent one, the most recent woohoo experience.
Well, this is a woohoo experience.
It is.
It really is. I got the pleasure of writing over here with Dr. Tam, who is in charge of this whole place. Right. And you know, he's saying, over here we have this, and over here we have this, and honestly, to me, I'm going woohoo the whole time because I have my own little piece of earth that I care for, which is my backyard. And I'm learning how to grow things, and I'm learning about different trees and plants that I can grow. And I don't have a greenhouse as beautiful as this flower dome, but I'm learning about certain tropical fruits that I can harvest in my own backyard with this similar technology. So I really, really, truly am woohoo excited to be here today, because this is the last stop on our Asia tour, which means I won't have any other cities to distract me. I can take all the knowledge I download today and go right to my backyard on Monday when I get home and really start putting some of this to practice.
That's great.
My turn to win some or learn some.
I've never tried to grow a durian.
You tried a durian before?
Yeah. Oh yes. It sticks with you for a while.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah.
You kind of let out the gases for the whole day, and it smells like durian.
It sure does. It sure does. Yeah, we had a couple of shows ago. We had some. I believe we were in Jakarta.
Yeah.
And about halfway through the set, it started to smell like durian on the stage. I'm not sure who that was, but all of us in the band were.
Okay.
See, like me, open up your plans and damn, you're free.
No. You know, I saw a really cool picture the other day. It was of someone's bathroom, and they had removed the mirror from above their sink. So there's no medicine cabinet, there was no mirror in the bathroom. And in place of the mirror, it just said, "You look fine." And I love that. It's this act of not obsessing over what you're looking like and just go about your day. You know, how do you feel inside? And honestly, I feel more complete and whole and excited about my life now than I ever have. And that's probably why my outside appearance has started to change a bit. It's not final. I'm sure I'm going to shave when I get home, and I'm sure next year I'll cut my hair or something. And then people will say, "What happened to your long hair?" Or you know, it's none of my business what others think of me. That's my new motto, because I feel great about where I am in my life.
I like that. Oh my God.
And I will nibble your ear.
Imagine. That's a good one.
John Lennon.
Yeah. You know, half of Bob Dylan's collection. You know, it'd been cool to be in the Beatles. That would have been nice. You know, I actually don't listen to too many singer-songwriters because I have that problem. I listen to songs and think, "Oh my gosh, this is the best song ever written. I'm horrible. I should just quit now."
And just go with the seasons. It's what we aim to do. Our name.
Profound. Going to Antarctica is such an extraordinary feeling. I learned also that it's the #1 tourist destination that people go back to. So after you've been there once, you're so moved by what you've seen and what you've experienced. Most people do what they can to return, and I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm trying to fit in my schedule how I can take more of my family and friends back there. As a songwriter, I love being in nature. I love solitude, and Antarctica is nothing but nature and solitude. But more importantly, I went with Al Gore and a team of scientists, researchers, entrepreneurs, environmentalists, so that we could learn about the stark realities of climate change. We were on a scientific exploration ship, so on board we got to learn all the science that's been done for the last 30 years, seeing exactly how humans are having an impact on the planet. And then it was a solution-based program, how we can then come back into our Western worlds and our civilized worlds and use our microphones and our medias to do our best to encourage people to continue to live consciously, so that it's not so much we, but our kids and their kids can live sustainably, can live here on this planet. I feel we're consuming more now than we ever have been. Even though our awareness is greater, it's not stopping us from burning carbon fuels, carbon-based fuels, and clearing land. I mean, the haze over Singapore is an example of land clearing that's happening on the Indonesian island of Sumatra, and that's happening all over the world, you know, and that has incredible economic and health costs. And it was going to Antarctica that made me more aware of our planet and what we can do about it. And I started a tree planting project so that I can do my best to offset my carbon, because here I am, I'm talking about being an eco-warrior, but I fly every other day. And I'm not flying by myself, I'm flying with 23 people. So my carbon footprint is probably bigger than anyone else in this room. So I feel I have a responsibility. I'm also a homeowner, and that makes me responsible. I have a piece of the earth that it's my responsibility to care for. How much energy am I consuming? What products am I buying? Where are those products coming from? You know, what am I throwing away, etc., etc. So sometimes I worry that me talking about it makes it sound like it's so hard and you have to commit your life to it. It's not. It's just a little light switch you have to turn on that makes you a little more conscious about your actions and your activities. And then you implement them into your life, and suddenly you realize I'm saving money, I'm healthier, my family's happier, my community's happier, the wildlife has returned to my backyard. There's so many great reasons to practice a more eco-friendly, eco-minded lifestyle. And I have Antarctica to thank for that.
Some life to bring. We've got some joy in this thing.
I think so, because you can't help but be in awe, because it's art, first of all. You're looking at beautiful art, and art, no matter what it is, gets a reaction out of people. People get drawn to it like a moth to a flame. And then once you spend time with that artwork, this vertical garden, you realize that's exactly what it is. In this world of limited space, we can still grow vertically. We can grow air plants. We can grow tropical foods and trees that only use the few inches of soil. Because people often complain we don't have enough room to grow things, but when you look at the super trees here and a lot of the projects that are being grown here, you discover, oh, this could actually be done on my roof or in my kitchen or my little 2 inches of side yard that I have beside my house. So I think, aside from the beauty and the artistic expression that this place is, it's one heck of an learning experience for all of us. So I applaud Dr. Tan and all of his crew here.
Let yourself sing. Hey.
Well, there were 2 things that happened almost simultaneously. One, I bought a home, and I realized this is now my piece of the earth that I'm responsible for. No one else is going to come here and sort my trash and do my recycling and turn my lights off and water my trees, etc. So this was my responsibility. And then as I went to travel the world, I realized, oh, okay, where I am today is also my responsibility, and so forth. I also started surfing at that same time, and I would spend time in the ocean and love it, but be really disappointed when I went back to the sand and there was broken glass bottles and cigarette butts and garbage in the sand, or trash floating along beside me in the water. Or even worse, after it rained, they put up signs all over the beaches saying, please don't swim, because after a rain, all the water becomes polluted. And I didn't know that until I'd become a surfer. And started to think about all those families that take their kids to allow them to swim in the water and how polluted it's become. And I felt I then had a responsibility for my own selfish reasons, because I want to keep surfing, you know, and I want it to be clean until I'm an old man, and if I have kids, I want the water to be clean for them, etc. And so, thanks to my last album taking off and given opportunities to do press conferences and talk on camera and obviously create music, which I'd always known to be a powerful fundraising tool, I also knew that music was also a means to express yourself and draw attention to certain things. I try not to preach in my music, but I do try to offer ways of being, in hopes that when you listen to the music, you want to take responsibility for whatever it is you're most passionate about. And so on this most recent album, I sing a song called The World as I See It, and it's just about, even though we have, you know, pollution and smokestacks and consuming it more energy than ever, we can continue to create the world as a beautiful place. And so on. So there's a number of songs where I hope to empower a listener, just for them to follow through on whatever it is they're passionate about. That's how I choose to use music.
Oh my love, I'm still looking up. And when you're needing your space to do some